everyone, it's Celeste and welcome to my channel. My channel is all about cosplay! I teach you tutorials on how to make the outfit, how to do the makeup so you can become the character of your dreams. So today I'm actually showing you how to make an elastic waistband skirt. This skirt is actually gathered and it has extra stretchiness. This is really good for summertime and springtime and just to get rid of all your extra fabrics. A lot of you may recognize this fabric from earlier in my YouTube days where I made a dress out of this and had all my tsum tsums fall on top of me. This is made with the remnant fabrics and I just want to show you how to use all the scraps that you have instead of throwing it away. I want you guys to get inspired to use the rest of your fabrics that you have in your stash to make something like this, like every day that you can wear. This video is very good for those who are starting out with their sewing machines. This will show you basic techniques and help introduce some new techniques. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in a comment down below and I'll be sure to answer them. Oh! Click that red button down below to become a member of my sewing pincushion called YouTube. This is so like an anime, right? It's just like, oh! Ah! Ah! So I hope this tutorial helps you. It's very simple and easy, so let's go ahead and get started. Ah! So I'm using these tsum tsum fabric remnants. It's definitely not enough for one of these to be a single piece of clothing, so I'm going to combine them together to make a nice skirt. The way that I'm going to do this is cut the largest piece in half and create that as the base. Sew the two pieces together. Make sure the fabric design is facing the same way. You don't want two pieces going up and down. Serge that seam and the entire perimeter of this piece of fabric now. I'm going to rip apart this fabric into 4 different pieces. That means I'm going to rip it into halves and then into fourths. I'm going to be using one of the pieces as my waistband. Now I'm going to repeat what I did on the last piece of fabric. I'm going to sew all pieces together, serge that seam, and then serge the entire perimeter. Now I'm going to take the smaller piece, make sure that the fabric is facing the way that I want it to hang, and then pin it to the bottom of the first piece of fabric. Now sew the 2 pieces together. This part is optional, but go ahead and top stitch that seam. I made the seam go downward toward the smaller piece of fabric, but I used an embroidery stitch. Again, this part is totally optional. Now hem the bottom of the skirt. Bring your skirt sides together and pin them. Make sure the bottom hemline is matching. Sew the sides together, but not closed all the way, so leave the top open just a little bit. Take out that last scrap piece of fabric, and I already serged it, but now we're going to cut it in half. Sew the 2 pieces together, then open the seam and sew those flaps down. The reason why we're opening the seam is because we're using this waistband as an elastic casing. Sew the waistband into a tube by sewing the sides together. Using a hand needle, I hand gathered the skirt and then I pinned it to the waistband. This is really difficult to do if you have already closed your skirt, so that's why we kept it open just a little bit. Now sew the skirt to the waistband. I'm using this elastic that's about 1.5 inches wide, and this one is very soft, and to put it in, I'm going to be using a very large safety pin. So I'm going to be putting this at the edge of one piece, but first make sure you have the right length of elastic. I'm going to wrap it around my waistband once and then stretch it just ever so slightly and then cut about 1/2 inch off from that. Open your safety pin and pierce the elastic twice. This way, your elastic does not fall off of your safety pin when going through the casing. Slowly begin feeding the safety pin through the waistband. Work your way all across the waistband until you've reached the other side. Be careful not to pull the elastic too much, otherwise it'll come through. Once the entire skirt has the elastic, make sure that the elastic fits inside the waistband by evenly distributing it across the elastic. I like to put a pin at the end of the skirt to secure the elastic from coming undone. For the final step, pin the elastic at the edges of the skirt and sew the entire skirt closed at the side seam.
Just to see you walk
This was such a quick and easy project. If anyone has any problems with it, just let me know. I had this laying around and I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. It's such a cute pattern, but at the same time, like, I don't know if I'm ever going to go back to Disneyland or go to a different place where, you know, pastel colors are more an in thing. Here in Scandinavia, pastel is not such a huge thing. Maybe that's why I'm wearing it today. I hope that you guys really like this video. I love making clothes, I love making cosplay, and that's not gonna stop. So if you haven't checked out some of my other videos, they're going to be like listed around here or something like that. And you click that subscribe button. I already said that. What else could I say? I can say stay inspired, be creative, and I will see you in a future video. Bye!